Welcome back. It's another live stream, another week, another live stream. I'm that fantasy chick. And today we're going to be talking about last week's episode of The Titans and The Flash. We had finally had a new episode of The Flash. And we're continuing with the new episodes of Titans. I always want to say the Titans, but it's just Titans. Like just Jack. Just Titans. Okay, so first I'm gonna start off with the Flash. And they brought back an old villain. So we're continuing with uh um it's going I guess it's just gonna be a filler season. I guess there is no overarching storyline. Every episode is an episode unto itself. And except for the beginning episodes, which had which had the Red Death cover multiple episodes. After the Red Death covered multiple episodes, that was it. Every episode after that is just an episode unto itself. With this episode, they went back a couple of years and pulled a villain from a couple of years ago. I can't remember his name. His home dude from Heroes. Can't remember his name, but he's this dude that injects black goo into people and turns them into zombies, and he can control them. He can control their actions, their minds, and they kind of become avatars for him. So he came back and he decides he wants to control Wally because they brought back Wally. Yay! Hadn't seen him in a minute. He wanted to control Wally because Wally, unbeknownst to himself, had been traveling through the multiverse. He thought he had been traveling through multiple timelines, but he had been traveling to multiple worlds. How you go from traveling to multiple timelines to multiple worlds, don't ask me, but he had that kind of power. And so he came back to get that power and use Wally's power to go throughout to spread his black goo throughout the multiverse. So he manages to get control of Wally's mind, and Wally ends up killing Barry and sending Barry into the afterlife where he meets Oliver. Yay, we see Oliver. And so Oliver is I've already forgotten. Basically, Oliver was given this special position during the crisis on Infinite Earths, and it had to deal with saving the multiverse. Well, after they were only able to save one Earth, the multiverse sort of like just compacted down from all these different Earths down to one at the end of the crisis. Well, what we didn't know was that they had been creating multiverses ever since, and Oliver had been naming them. So he's like that. He was the one who told Barry that Wally had been traveling to. They hadn't been traveling to different timelines. He'd been traveling to different multiverses, and if this guy spreads his black goo throughout the multiverse, he can ruin everything that I've been building for these past few years. So basically, Oliver has the power to bring Barry back to life. So he brings Barry back to life, and he comes back with him because he has the power to come back in order to save the multiverse. So he comes back with him to save the multiverse. And in the meanwhile, the guy had subdued like all of the other everybody else at the Star Labs with the black goo, except for he had injected black goo into all of their drinks. So everybody who took a drink had the black goo inside of them, except for Chester, because he did not drink anything. and um, and Iris was able to hold it off because she gained her baby's like speed healing abilities. So because of the baby inside of her had these speed healing abilities, it kept the black goo from taking over her, and she did not become a zombie. So it was Chester and Iris. But everybody else was zombies, and they were, basically going after Chester and Iris. It's very horror movie like. And but at the last minute, when where it seems like all is lost, Khione comes and saves the day. She's able to freeze all the liquid in their body and freeze them in their tracks. And she has the power to expel the black goo from one person. So she does it from Diggy. So Diggle can go and help Oliver and Barry fight the black goo guy and Wally. And so Barry ends up fighting Wally, but Barry somehow, when he and Wally are one-on-one, Barry somehow talks to him and gets through to him and gets Wally to sort of overcome the black goo in his body just through sheer willpower alone. And he overcomes it and he's healed. And then he's remorseful, for like 5 seconds for killing Barry. It's like, oh my God, I killed you. It's like, ugh. I'm back. It's okay. But so they all gather together. Oliver does his shtick and says the guy's name, which I cannot remember, and does "You have failed this city." I'm like, really? We're gonna do that? But okay. And he shoots his arrow and stops the goo from taking over the multiverse. I don't know how the arrow stopped that, but the arrow did. So, and then when he stopped the goo from taking over the multiverse, not only did he get rid of all of the black goo, he got rid of all of the black goo from the man's body. And the man was like this doctor, and he had years ago, originally, his original villain origin story was he was trying to come up with a cure to this rare disease that his mother had. And that's where the black goo sort of came from. It was supposed to be the cure to this disease. And I think either he injected it into himself, or somehow he got the disease himself, and he used the cure on himself and then became this villain, blah, 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 blah. So when So when not Barry, but Oliver shot the arrow, all of the black goo was expelled from his body. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, I no longer have my powers." And he was like, "Yeah, I expelled all of that from your body when I, closed the portal or whatnot." He was like, "Well, then my HLH is gonna come back." He's like, "No, I healed you from that too. So, so you're just gonna spend the rest of your life as a regular old normal prisoner. You get to go to regular jail. You don't have to go to meta jail. You get to go to regular jail now. So, or regular prison now. So that's that. And that was the end of the Flash. Until next week's standalone episode. I'm gonna stop calling them filler episodes and calling them standalone episodes. Till next week's standalone / filler episode. Okay. And then okay. Next. Titans. So on Titans, you start with Connor going and making his deal with Brother Blood. I forget what his name is. I think it's Morgan, but Brother Blood and Niklaus. And telling him, it's like, "Oh, has anybody ever asked you what you want? What do you want?" And of course, he's still holding on to the dream of this little video game app that he tried to put together that got shot down. So Connor is like, "I'm taking over LexCorp. We'll make your app. We'll put out your app. We'll release your app. We'll do whatever you want." So he leaves him with that thought. He's like, he leaves him with a card that says Connor Luther, because he's going by Connor Luther now, no longer Connor Kent. He has switched sides completely. He is now Connor Luthor. And he tells him, when you make your decision, contact me, blah, 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 blah. So then Brother Blood goes to Mother Mayhem. And he tells her, basically, she's going on about the horn and bringing back Trigon. And he's like, "I don't need to bring back Trigon. I have powers of my own." And she's like, "Oh, you ain't shit. You ain't shit without your father. You need to just do as I say. And, basically just do as I say, because you are nothing without your father." So he burns her alive and goes off and joins Connor, because that's what you do. So in the meanwhile, Connor has this press conference where he's saying, "I'm taking over LexCorp," and there's this row of people behind him. One of them is Brother Blood, and he sort of, gestures to him, and everybody's back at the whatever lab they're at watching the conference. And they're like, what is going on? So Connor's working with him now. So is Connor evil? What is the deal with Connor? So they have no idea if Connor's good, Connor's evil, if Connor's truly working with him, what's his angle? So Dick believes Connor has angle. He's like, "No, Connor has angle." And I forget. Somebody was like, "Yeah, no, he's evil." I forget who, but in the meanwhile, they were going to try to go to LexCorp and confront him and figure out on which side does he stand. But Rachel wants to come, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't come with us because but Brother Blood is going to be there, and you can't be in the same vicinity as him because if he gets hurt, then you get hurt, and blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah." So then starts this journey of trying to disconnect, break the connection between Brother Blood and Rachel. So Dick contacts somebody in London, and they point him to some, witch or somebody who who basically they perform this spell, and this black goo comes out of, again with the goo, black goo comes out of Rachel, and it forms a person. And not Connor, Dick is supposed to stab him with this knife. Right now, the blade does not exist. The blade is supposed to appear, like the strength of his love for Rachel is going to make the blade appear. So, of course, at the very beginning, Blade does not appear. And he has to chase this thing all around the area where they are until finally, at the last moment, the blade appears and he stabs it and he kills it and blah, 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 blah. But, and then what we learn all along is that Connor is trying to play Brother Blood. He goes into his office. He sees the horn of the Trigon horn or whatever it is lying on the desk, and he tries to use his heat vision to destroy it, but nothing happens. First he tries to pick it up and he can't pick it up. Then he tries to use his heat vision to destroy it. Nothing happens. And then he hears Brother Blood coming to the office, and he immediately sucks in all the smoke that he's created from trying to use his heat vision to blow this thing up, and quickly super speeds someplace else and plays it off. Super speeds to the couch and plays off why he's in his office. But while he's been trying to basically double cross Brother Blood has been changing the little app that they're getting ready to release. And he put a spell on it unbeknownst to Connor. He put his own little spell on it, and so then him and Connor go and they release the app out into the world, and then it becomes addicting, and everyone all over the world is playing this app. It's spreading everywhere, and they can't stop playing it. And next thing you know, people all over the world is just dropping and going into comas, including the guy in the lab who helps them all the time. So, what's his name? Tim realizes, okay, this is this app that's doing this to these people. So he's like, we need to break into the LexCorp mainframe or whatnot and delete the app. So first he tries to break in, and Brother Blood sees an attack happening, and he of course uses his magic to strengthen the firewall so they couldn't get in. So then Tim tries to find a back door. So he tries to find a back door, and while Brother Blood is looking the other way, Connor very, very fast like super speeds and goes somewhere else and does some computer nonsense and basically allows them to come in through their computer glitch backdoor and destroy the app. Because when the app uh was first released, it was released to everyone 18 above, and now and he sees that all these people are dropping and probably dying and and throughout the world. And now Brother Blood wants to release it to children. And he's like, okay. He can't say anything. So he allows the app to get deleted. And so as the app is being deleted, Dick is killing the thing that's within Rachel, and he's like he's feeling this all at once. He's like, oh my God, my app is gone, and now I can no longer feel Rachel. That our connection is gone. So he's feeling rock bottom, and then they go to the morgue, and you see Mother Mayhem, come back to life, and I think she calls out to him, and I'm like, really, we're gonna go back to this all over again? so we're back at one. We're back at one with Mother Mayhem and Brother Blood, but Connor tried and Connor failed. Like I knew he was going to. And then at the same time, it was a side quest with Gar being stuck in his house with the Doom Patrol, and somehow Corey got stuck in the house with them too. And Gar was like, you need to basically come to I forget the terms, but basically be at peace with something, come to find peace within yourself over something. And she's like, I don't have to find peace with nothing. And then she realizes, oh, ever since this whole Brother Blood thing has been going on, I realized I had my chance to kill him and I missed it, and I've been blaming myself and blah 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 blah, and I have been going on and on and on about hating him. And she was like, my thing is, I shouldn't be doing this because I hate him. I should be doing this because I hate what it's doing to the people I love. Blah blah blah. They didn't get unstuck from the house. The house starts narrowing in on them, but Gar gets the idea for Cyborg to use his arm and explode the ceiling, blow out the ceiling. And when they do that, him and Corey are magically inside the lab with everyone else. So we're guessing Doom Patrol magically goes back to where they belong to. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to sit down and watch Doom Patrol at some point. It'll be after Titans goes off the air, but at some point I'm gonna sit down and watch Doom Patrol. And then some of the things that happened in this episode will make more sense, because there were some things that just went over my head because I didn't watch the show. So is that? I think that's about everything. Yeah. Everybody's proud of Tim for, stopping the app. You got Rachel no longer connected to Brother Blood. You know, Gar has this new connection to the red, which allows him to move through time and space. And oh, and we're back at one with Brother Blood and Mother Mayhem. So I'm guessing they're going to reunite next week. And he's going to blow the horn of Trigon. And then they're going to have to figure out how to get rid of Trigon, Mother Mayhem, and Brother Blood. This is just too much. This is too much. But I'm just hoping they don't end this season on a cliffhanger because it's the last season. I'm hoping everything wraps itself up with a tidy little series ending bow. This is what I'm hoping for. So that is all. I shall be back Wednesday, and if there's a new episode of Superman and Lois, I will be talking about that. And Friday, I'm not sure about Friday. I will let you know about Friday on Wednesday. This week is a killer week, so I'll have to let you know about Friday on Wednesday. But that is all. Thanks for watching.